So where we are right now, it's a buddy of mine, Robin. He was traveling through the town of Clarksdale about 5 or 6 years ago, and he just happened to stop in one place and see me play. And I was playing with a guy named Terry Harmonica Bean out of Pontotoc, Mississippi, and we were playing in the back of a little store here in town. And then my friend Robin also stopped and saw a guy named Robert Wolfman Belfour at Reds. And then he was actually on his way moving to Arizona, and he thought, man, this is the coolest place ever. And he decided to move here. And so we're in his little domain right now, in his domicile.
Nice. Do you play any of his guitars?
Yeah, man, my buddy Robin, he makes all kinds of guitars, and once in a while I do play them. He makes them out of all different crazy things, man. He takes the air filter out of a 1980 Isuzu pickup truck and like puts a guitar neck on it and just does all these crazy things, man.
Well, what about that instrument behind you right there?
Oh, that's one of his. This is one of his bucket basses.
Give us a piece. Give us a piece.
I don't even know how to do it. I don't play that.
Strategically placed.
There you go. Clarksdale, Mississippi is, in my opinion, it's where it's at. We have a really great deal here. It's amazing. People from all over the world come every day to discover the land where blues began. They come down here to Mississippi, and in Clarksdale especially, you can find live blues music 7 nights a week, and most other towns don't offer that. Most other towns offer the kind of mix that's in every town around the world, and that's the thing. When people come to Mississippi, they want to hear what the area is known for. They don't want to hear the corner bar music they could hear everywhere else. Anywhere else you go, if you're in Indiana or Pennsylvania or California, you go to a corner bar and you're going to hear people playing maybe hits on the radio, you're going to hear country music, you're going to hear rock music, and when they come here they want to hear something different, something that's true to the land around here. Music that came out of the cotton fields around this area and the churches around here. And that's where, as far as I'm concerned, any music came from. It's from the southern part of the United States. It all started here. I'm originally from northeastern Pennsylvania. Don't hold that against me. And I fell in love with blues music at an early age. I was probably 11 or 12. And I would read articles, interviews from guys like Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. And they all had the same story, that they were heavily influenced by the African American music out of the southern part of the United States. And basically, records were made here. They found their way to Europe, and young European kids just fell in love with the music, and they kind of made it into their own thing, and then brought it back to us. And that was like part of the British invasion. If you listen to the Rolling Stones' first album, it was just all blues. It was from guys like Muddy Waters, who grew up not too far from where we are right now. He grew up on the Stovall Plantation, which is right next to where I live, outside of Clarksdale. Mr. Howlin' Wolf, the Stones loved Howlin' Wolf out of West Point, Mississippi. Out of Clarksdale, we have John Lee Hooker that came from here, Ike Turner, Sam Cooke. It's incredible. The list goes on and on. Blues at its purest form is really a certain kind of special niche, that it fills. But then when certain people hear it and make it their own thing, and then these people heard these people do it, they make it their own thing, then these people hear these people do it, it becomes really diluted from where it started from. So I think to have an important hold on this style of music and say you're influenced by blues, I think everyone should kind of come back to the source and listen to all forms of the early real deal blues. Even guys like Robert Johnson, who sold his soul to the devil in the middle of our town, Clarksdale, over here. Guy from right next door in Lyon, Mississippi, Son House, an incredible pioneer of the blues. They were influenced by Charlie Patton, one of the most proficient slide players of the era through the 20s. Was a guy named Blind Willie Johnson. If you're a slide player, there are other people than Dwayne Allman or Derek Trucks, who today that is the go-to slide players. Someone like Derek Trucks, he's a special person out there. doing his own thing with the music, you know. Um, but I do think it's important if you're going to say you're influenced by blues to listen to the early guys, and any of those guys I've mentioned, Eric Clapton or the Beatles or the Stones or Derek Trucks or someone like that. They would all say the same thing. It's like, geez, no, listen to my heroes, the guys who influenced me, and you can tell with their music. Their music is pure, and you can tell the source that it comes from. And basically my story is I came down here in 1993 from Pennsylvania, and I started hanging out with an 88-year-old bluesman from Bentonia, Mississippi, by the name of Jack Owens. And he had a harp player by the name of Bud Spires, and Bud is still alive today, but Jack since passed. But there's a certain style down in Bentonia, Mississippi, and that's the thing about blues. It's regional. Depending on which part of the southern United States you go to, you're going to pick up different little traits and different influences, and you'll find some similarities in the different communities that you go to. You have blues music like North Mississippi Hill Country style blues, you have Delta blues, you have that Bentonia style, you have a Piedmont style of blues, then you venture into R&B, which is rhythm and blues, or soul. There's just, it goes on and on. But my particular styles that I like, it's a combination of like a Delta blues with some Bentonia flair thrown in, which unfortunately you didn't see any Bentonia style today that I played. And then also what I do, usually with a drummer and when I have an electric guitar, I play North Mississippi Hill Country style blues, not to be confused with country blues. Country blues and North Mississippi Hill Country style blues are completely different. In the northern part of the Mississippi, you have the rolling hills, and there's small pockets where you'd have guys like R.L. Burnside out of Holly Springs or Junior Kimbrough out of Chilahoma, Mississippi. And a guy I played with for 3 years who came up under Oath of Turner, Rising Star Fife and Drum, and Mississippi Fred McDowell. A guy I played with for 3 years was named R.L. Boyce, and he's still out there doing it. And he's a real deal guy. And actually, you could find some footage of that online. Me at a real deal Mississippi, North Mississippi yard party where we're burning couches and we're eating raccoon and on the grill. But so I love when I'm with my band, or if just me, electric guitar and a set of drums. I like that a lot. But then I have a band called All Night Long Blues Band. It's me, a girl drummer, and a big guy with overalls who dances around the whole time, who plays harmonica. And we do the music of R.L. Burnside, Junior Kimbrough, Fred McDowell, a guy named Booker White out of Aberdeen, Mississippi. I'm tired, man. Anything else you can spur me on with?
Tell me about you are blue because of the blues, or what?
Huh?
Just like what you wear, what you have on.
Oh man, it's just what I woke up and threw on today. I like to match.
I like to match.
I like to match.
Agree.
You know what I mean? So I'm wearing blue not because I'm sad or I play blues music. I don't color coordinate my outfit with the style of music I play.
Work out.
Yeah, this hat was sitting on a table, and I said, let me wear my blue hat today, and I'm going to wear my blue shiny shirt and my blue shiny shoes, and let's see if any girls notice, but they didn't.
You got it.
Okay. So the guitar I use today is a National resonator. National is the name, resonator is the style guitar, and this here is a metal resonating cone. It's made out of spun aluminum. And these guitars were made for a certain reason in mind. Back in the early days, you'd be in a juke house, a juke joint, and you'd have instruments that are louder. You'd have drums, you'd have horns. So when someone would have a wooden body acoustic guitar, it just wasn't producing the volume needed to get out to the people dancing. So they came up with this idea by taking a bell brass, what they make bells out of, and putting a cone in. You're able to jack up the volume. And so this, before amplifiers, this was the loudest guitar made. And that kicks an acoustic guitar's butt with volume-wise. And so this finally be able to compete against the other instruments in the juke houses and the barrel houses and things like that. So this is a national resonator, and they're great guitars, and they're great collectible guitars now. And it somehow, this just symbolizes blues now. Like, and it's funny because a lot of festivals and stuff, you'll see it's like they'll have this, but their festival has nothing to do with blues. You know, nothing to do. It's just somehow, look, we play blues. We have one of these. And so I'll be honest, I don't even play this anymore. You know, when I used to play festivals solo, I used to bring 2 of these out, and I would play them. But I found it's funny. They were produced to get the sound out, but now with all our huge modern day inventions, with sound being so big, every festival I've gone to, since you can't plug this in, I've never had a sound man that could mic it right, where it could go through the big speakers and get out there to a crowd. Because if you put a microphone here, it's going to hit your hand. Mm-hmm. If you put a microphone here, it just doesn't work. And then your vocals could be so loud because you could get right up on the mic. Right. And this doesn't. It can't compete. So I'm spoiled. I use electric guitars now, and I just do a lot of different open tunings and stuff. Key of open G, key of open D, standard tuning, open E, and I go back and forth between tunings. And you could just get a better sound because the vocals and the guitar, could just come through the same system and get out there to the folks. So it's funny, what was once used as this will be the loudest thing, now you can't mic them right and stuff to make them have the sound go out there. So it's a symbol of the blues, but at this point, they're not really that practical to use in live settings. And people now, I think, just hang on to them because it beckons back to a day of, like, I'm an old blues man. Here's my guitar. Yeah. And so I just have them now as collectability. And we didn't have a lot, and I know Oxford Sessions like to do a stripped down kind of a thing. And I'm going to pull my pants off right now. We're going to strip down Oxford Sessions.
Where's the...
I think this blues music thing is going to live on, and I'll tell you why. Because as I was saying, people come to Mississippi every day from all over the world, and they want to see the roots of all this. So as long as people keep coming, and they keep wanting to see where Robert Johnson, the famous bluesman, sold his soul to the devil, as long as they keep coming to see where Muddy Waters grew up, as long as they keep coming to see where Sam Cooke, made his way in the early days, as long as people are still interested in that, then this music will live on. But sadly, there's not enough pure hardcore old school blues in modern music right now, and I think the reason for that is because music is a thing that just like everything in our society nowadays, everything's so fast paced and fast moving that it's like, what's the next latest? Let's do this. Oh, well, I liked that song last month. Now let's hear what's fresh and current now, versus sticking with something. But this is just, it fills a certain niche, and there's certain people that get it, and there's just certain people that don't, And I think there's enough people, there's a handful, literally a handful of people, but as long as there's that handful, I think it's going to be all right. Because I make my living off doing it. And it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. I'd be better off if I work at a donut shop. But I like music, so I do it, and I'm able to support myself and my wife. And my wife, by the way, is a black and tan coonhound. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Bearded Wonder. They call me Sean the Bad Apple, and it was my pleasure to be here with you today at Oxford Sessions. Thank you. Yay! Rock on!
Nice. You're all right, let's wrap this up and basically just look straight into the camera. All right. Introduce yourself.
Hello, all you Oxford Sessions fans. Well, you gonna be laughing in the background?
No. I mean, but
don't do that.
No, just say what you will. Introduce yourself, but then just end with, and this has been my Oxford session.
Okay.
That's the important part.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we don't care about you.
I know.
We just care about our tagline.
Okay.
Don't interrupt it, Danny.